Hi, and welcome to this video where I'll show you how you're taking the data, the test data, your test case you have created on your SAP PIPO system and migrating it to a SAP Iflow to ensure everything works as you would expect it to. So you should obviously have created a PI test case. You should have migrated the specific PI test case either using the Figaf tool or used your own scenario, and then you should have mapped it on the migration dashboard, and then you can select it and migrate it. So there's a number of different ways you should be run these things. You can run and send the message in again, see if everything is successful. You can use the Figaf mocking service if you want to mock the endpoints, and then update the test case with more data and make sure that you also create these on the fly. But let's get started. Let's see how it works. So here we have our test case we already created, but we will need to do it from the migration overview here. Here we can see we have an iFlow that has been mapped with the specific test case. We could also have selected and linked to a new iFlow. This will not really work. And then you can do the same migration as we'll do right now for that. But we will use this one we have created here. We will migrate the test case. We will select, so if you have multiple test cases, you can do that in one go. Next step, we'll add it to a test suite, and you can create one test suite per scenario or whatever. They always need to be added to a test suite when we're creating them. And we select which iFlow makes sense for this. And then we select what are the endpoint where these data needs to be in. We could have used some other setting and said we want to fetch it here, but right now we're just fetching it here at the endpoint. So if you use the tool, it knows where to fetch the correct data, so you do not need to do anything with it. To simplify it, we select open the test suite here. Now we have created a test case. We can see it is moved in here. The easiest way is just to go in here in the testing result and press run here. We need a license for this. And then press run again. I think in the future, next release, you do not need to press run and it will know, hey, you requested a license to run. This should be okay. We can then view the result here, and this is where there's obviously going to be some problems. You can see here what we have with the message sent. We have an iFlow that was not deployed for some reason. So we'd obviously need to check what's going on with that. We can see here the iFlow here. So this link in here shows you where it wanted to run this specific scenario on. And the iFlow is not deployed. Let's see what the problem is. No problem. Just forgot it. So we'll try to deploy again and just pause it. So now the iFlow is started, and let's try again. Normally do not resend these messages that have failed, so we just go back here to the overview, press run again. I think you can delete this one if you do not want it. Delete that specific run and the report here. So there's a way to clean these up as you go along here. So right now we can see that something has been processed. We can see the result here message has been, there was some processing error on this, and this is probably while checking or processing the message there was some mistake here. So let's check. And this is what you need to go on, checking what is going on. The state here on the multicast, there was a problem. This is this FTP server here that is not working, and we can see the error here. Incorrect login, so we'll just need to find the login, and then we can run a test again. Just a sec. So now I found the correct password for my FTP settings, and we can see it has been processed correctly here in the FTP. if we then go back here to our test suites, it took a number of attempts. I think after I changed the security artifact, I needed to set it up again. And we can see we're getting some messages down here, and we are getting some problems with the order expression. If you remembered when we created this test case, this had a multi-mapping, and that's obviously a little of a problem. So we need to open this test configuration here, and then we need to add this ID, use the numeric expression, and then we press save. And here we can also say what are the flows or messages step that we're actually picking up. We can then go back again to our tests, run this scenario again, and this is how you will be doing this. There is going to be problem. You will hopefully see that everything works out at the end after you troubleshoot some of these different problems. So now we can see it seems like it is doing okay. We're getting some errors. That is expected. If we take a look at these diffs here, we can see there's a date that is ignored. That is okay. We just press the compare and skip that. And what else do we have? That is all we have here. We can check the expression here. We can see that it ignores all the message properties because we have done a migration test with these scenarios. We could have set up the mock endpoint if we had that running on this system. That way we would not actually have gotten these problems. It will just have sent the message and we would not have seen any problem with an invalid password. So that was all we needed to do to run this test and show you what it looks like. Now if we go back here, we can see we now have a test case here. We can see everything is successful. We can take the iFlow here, go to our tracked object, start transporting into our QA and productive system, and once it's there, we in our overview would see that this has been moved to production. We will get a check mark and everybody's happy. We have one less IQ to go, and then only 176 iFlows that needs to be migrated still. I hope you found this useful. You could see how this can be useful in your organization, setting up you for creating good integrations. Be sure to check up also more about these things. We would most likely be adding more training videos as we get along and understand more about how users are using these things. So hope you liked it, and be sure to watch some of the other videos that is applicable to your use case. Thank you for watching.